Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading. Hope you're all well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to do a love tarot reading for you guys today and see what you've got going on. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If the message doesn't fit, don't force it to. It's not your message, it's for somebody else. So let's see what we've got going on in the land of love for Virgo. Messages in love for Virgo. Messages in love for Virgo. I'm going to pull 6 cards for you, Virgo. And those cards are the Page of Pentacles in the upright, Queen of Wands in the reverse, the Two of Pentacles in the upright, Strength in the upright, the Knight of Cups in the upright, and the Five of Swords in the upright. So, a possible new, fresh, possible opportunity in stability. In balancing something out. Perhaps some sort of new opportunity in stability and love with the Knight of Cups there. Excuse my chair. And the Five of Swords. Walking away from some sort of conflict, battle. I'm getting the energy of knowing when it's a good time to walk away. Queen of Wands in reverse, some sort of fiery, possibly more negative, fiery energy there. So perhaps there's been some sort of conflict that needs balanced out, that's a bit overwhelming and needs to come back to a place of stability and emotional balance. Strength, courage, confidence, power, inner power to walk away from something or someone. Let's see what these might be about. Page of Pentacles. Why is he here for Virgo? Excuse me. Why is the Page of Pentacles here for Virgo in love? The Sun in reverse. Feeling a little bit up and down, sort of in your emotions, in your outlook perhaps. Feeling a little bit doubtful or negative about something, or feeling delayed in something. Lack of energy, a lack of, just something is in lack. Queen of Wands, why is she here for Virgo in love in reverse energy? Yeah, the Empress in reverse, another message of card of lack of growth, possibly not looking after yourself, or someone's not looking after you, or being balanced with you perhaps. Something is not happening here, something is not coming into creation, it's not being birthed, it's not growing. And it's making you feel, or it's making someone feel a little bit up and down in their energy. Do you know, my cards have been doing some pretty impressive acrobatics of late. Flipping all over the place. Two of Pentacles. Why is it here for Virgo in love? King of Cups in reverse. Again, more up and down energy, more kind of imbalanced, emotions are imbalanced, out of balance, a bit up and down. Feeling out of alignment, out of kilter, out of whack, out of just feeling very stuck or emotionally detached from something or someone is. Wise strength here for Virgo in love. 5 of Wands in reverse. Avoiding conflict. Again, lost battles with the 5 of Swords there as well. Knowing when to walk away, when to admit defeat, when something is not kind of, or avoiding conflict, just keeping the peace, and also knowing when to walk away. I keep getting that from perhaps something that's not serving you, but perhaps you were quite determined for a while to persevere with it, to be courageous, to deal with it, but at the moment maybe you're at the point of admitting defeat. Knight of Cups. 2 of Wands in the upright. Now, this could be walking away from something to go towards something else, or walking away from someone in order to go towards someone else. Or just, there's an air of possibility here. Decision making. Progress. Long-term goals, long-term vision, long-term plans. Can also talk about partnerships. So perhaps there is an offer on the table there from someone, but you're not quite sure how to feel about it or how to kind of progress with that. Or perhaps you're already in a connection that is not quite progressing how you would like it to, and you're thinking ahead, wondering kind of how long you're, you know, going to continue, or whether you're going to move on. Maybe something doesn't have any kind of real direction and you're not feeling very fulfilled, and perhaps you're thinking, you know, well, is it time to move on? The 5 of Swords. Why is it here for Virgo in love? 7 of Pentacles. Again, talking about planting seeds with a long-term plan in place, hoping that they'll grow, investing in something, waiting on something to grow here, but it's not growing. Having patience, and perhaps you've been quite patient with something here. You've persevered with something, but you're kind of still waiting for the harvest to come in, for these plans or you're waiting for some good outcome on something you've invested in here. And I'm not sure how long you've been waiting for, but you're being patient, and you've persevered, but you're kind of hovering, looking, waiting over this potential growth, and it's not there yet. And you're kind of wondering, well, when is it going to grow? When is it going to harvest? When am I going to see the fruits of my labour? When am I going to see the return on my investment? Why is the Sun here in reverse energy for Virgo in love? The Hanged Man in reverse energy. So, again, kind of waiting around, resistant a little bit to change, perhaps stubborn, but also perhaps wondering what you might have sacrificed in this, or what you might have to sacrifice, or what you've already sacrificed. but quite a stubborn, not wanting to give up on something here, I see. As much as it's kind of making you feel a little bit up and down and not completely happy, you're stuck with it, or you're still sticking with it. The Empress. Why is she here for Virgo in love in reverse energy? The Five of Wands again in reverse. Yeah, lack of growth, kind of feeling defeated and kind of getting to the point of giving up on this. Just feeling really deflated, defeated, perhaps a loss of desire or passion for this. Yeah, just kind of, you know, empty, as it were. King of Cups in reverse energy. Why is he here for Virgo in love? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Holding on to something, really kind of perhaps to a point of excessively holding on to something that perhaps you know needs to be let go of. Queen of Pentacles, well, she's the mother of the Pentacle suite. She's the nurturer, the caregiver, the mother, you know, everything that you would get from a mother. But she's the kind of mother of stability and care and nurturing and commitment. In reverse, she can be a little bit overly motherly, nurturing. So that tells me a real stubborn energy here of, and kind of excessively holding on to something, giving to it, looking after it, but not kind of giving it, not giving it time to breathe, but just being overly, I don't want to say possessive, but just really stubborn, not wanting to let something go here. The Five of Wands in reverse energy. Why is it here for Virgo in love? Four of Swords in reverse. And needing to take time out to rest, recuperate. Something, all these negatives, reversals, the Sun in reverse, the Empress in reverse, you know, this is kind of weighing, you're kind of, I'm getting a somewhat dependent energy, yes. Waiting on this thing to somehow validate you, complete you, fulfill you. And to the point of feeling fairly tired and just needing to really come back to oneself, rest, recuperate, take time out. Feeling quite exhausted, empty, deflated, neglected. Two of Wands, the Emperor. The Emperor. And perhaps with that Emperor energy, you or someone here knows that it's kind of time to take your power back. Time to make a decision here. You know, time to, yeah, be the Emperor. Take back your power, make an authoritative, you know, put your foot down, make a decision. No nonsense. Something's got to give here. The Seven of Pentacles. Page of Wands in reverse. Some kind of youthful, somewhat, the Page of Wands is a youthful, energetic, very young, very fresh, very adventurous energy. Kind of, you know, the very beginnings of creation, desire, ambition, passions. getting out there and enjoying the world and adventure. But in reverse, it can be somewhat immature, yes, because it's a page. But I'm getting here that something is kind of unsure, immature, premature, kind of someone wasn't sure here about something they perhaps wanted to commit to or connect to. Not very stable, kind of just perhaps non-committal as well. The Hanged Man in reverse energy. Temperance in reverse. Balance is needed. Some sort of, yeah, you know, it needs to be one way or the other. It's lacking direction, lacking progress, and it's overwhelming people, and it's kind of going here, there and everywhere, but not really going nowhere, then kind of a decision and balance needs to be brought here. A decision needs to be made and balance needs to be brought into the situation. And creating a balance within ourselves. And not just tipping the balance over in towards another person or a situation, but balancing ourselves. 5 of Wands. 6 of Wands. So, feeling somewhat successful, victorious, perhaps in some ways. Perhaps some sort of achievement, pat on the back, an apology perhaps that's giving you some sort of victory. I'm getting the energy of some sort of recognition, but not quite enough. Queen of Pentacles. There's that 4 of Swords there. Again, taking time out, looking for clarity, looking for truth, looking for wisdom, taking some time out for solitude to really have a think here, find the truth and clarity of the matter. And with the Emperor making some sort of no-nonsense decision of what you need to perhaps hold on to and let go of. 4 of Swords in reverse. Page of Pentacles. There he is again. So again, another young, sort of youthful, fresh, I'm going to say, early stages of some sort of stability here. Early stages, but youthful stages, youthful offers of commitment and stability, but not quite mature and adult. Kind of maybe stable, but I'm not too sure, because I'm not too sure what kind of stability really means. That kind of half in, half out kind of energy. Tell me about the Emperor. Why is he here for Virgo? Queen of Wands in reverse again. So there's a Queen of Wands, and she's not in her, she's here twice, and she's not in her best fire energy because she's in reverse. So there could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Or there could have just been some conflict here, some heated discussion, some, you know, that someone's trying to kind of avoid going back into that conflict or heated discussion. Queen of Wands can be a bit of a drama queen as well when she's in her reverse energy. And I've got the 6 of Wands here. So is someone kind of creating drama about something? And they're being seen, they're being put in the spotlight, or they're possibly, someone needs to take accountability for some sort of impulsive or, and it can also, the Queen of Wands in reverse can also talk about lack of confidence again, lack of, you know, self-confidence, doubt, not being courageous and confident and determined like a Queen of Wands. It's kind of the opposite of that. Page of Wands, the Lovers. So, quite a fiery, intense little situation, connection, dynamic that is perhaps, yeah, perhaps more casual or non-committal, and someone's wondering if that's going to balance out. It's about making decisions, perhaps between two people, or perhaps between an existing connection between you and someone else. It's yeah, and Temperance. So something here is very kind of fiery, quite intense fiery, but it's not very balanced. It's not very balanced, it's not very stable. And someone's now possibly starting to think ahead for the long term. Temperance. King of Cups in reverse. And getting some up and down, emotional, kind of perhaps hot and cold emotions here. Hot and cold emotional availability. Some kind of possibly shut off, secretive kind of energy. Someone who's a little bit perhaps secretive. A little bit, yeah, closed off emotionally. They're kind of good with the passion and the, you know, all that kind of aspect of it, but when it comes to the emotions and the heart of the matter, they're kind of, yeah, not so much. Six of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the old left out in the cold card. Card of rejection and feeling low, rejected, poverty mindset, kind of left out. And the Six of Wands, it's come out as a clarifier. So I feel as well that you're getting some form of recognition in the short term with the Lovers and the, you know, that kind of fiery, maybe more physical aspect of the connection. But that's temporary, and when that's done, it's kind of leaving you feeling quite cold and neglected, and yeah. Four of Swords, the Fool in reverse. Risk-taking, recklessness, bad choices, bad decisions. Also can be a card of holding oneself back from going forward because they fear the unknown. Perhaps someone is, as I said in the beginning, thinking of walking away here, but they're a bit fearful of it because they don't know, you know, they fear the unknown. They're kind of choosing to justify the breadcrumbs of recognition rather than leave altogether and just go in search of a new, because they're kind of, yeah, accepting the small moments of happiness which come from the physical aspects. Page of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. Going round and round in circles, but not actually going forward. Or going backwards, like the hamster on the running wheel that's running against the wheel moving forward. But the wheel's still moving forward, but the hamster is going nowhere because he's running against it. Or she. Are hamsters only men or male or female? I don't know, but I've just really shown my intelligence there. But yeah, unpredictable, up and down, back and forth. Cycles, karma, good luck, bad luck, turning point. It's the Wheel of Fortune is a very kind of deep card. It can, the Wheel of Life, the Wheel of Fortune, the changes, things that happen, things that don't. You land on good luck, you land on bad luck. It's kind of going with the tide of life, but not being stuck in one position where you're not fulfilled and staying stuck and not moving forward. Queen of Wands, Four of Cups, feeling restless, bored, thinking it over, feeling somewhat bored, disconnected, and just, yeah, being stuck on that wheel and not feeling satisfied, but not kind of perhaps going towards anything new because you're quite stuck in this kind of confusing up and down stagnant energy. Tell me about the Lovers. The Hanged Man. Pausing and surrendering. Well, the Hanged Man's there as well, so it's, I mean, trying to come to some sort of acceptance or new perspective here, trying to find a moment of enlightenment in order to make a decision to move forward or to change this situation in one way or the other. But I feel that someone's been hanging for quite a while, confused, looking at it from many different perspectives and being none the wiser. King of Cups, Nine of Cups. There's something here is some sort of wish fulfillment, satisfaction. Five of Pentacles, King of Wands. There he is. Passionate, fiery, kind of comes charging in, full of, you know, all the good stuff, all the tempting stuff. But he's also known as the knight that is here for a good time, not for a long time. The Fool, Six of Pentacles. That's a card of balance, equal give and take, giving and receiving, generosity. And, well, perhaps you're wondering if this is going to equal out and balance out here. Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor in reverse. Having self-control, finding some self-control, finding some discipline, finding some balance, getting back into the sensible, authoritative Emperor energy. Four of Cups, Ten of Swords in reverse, recovery, trying to regenerate, trying to mend, trying to move forwards. Seeing some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to put these, I'm going to draw one more card. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. I'm not going to draw from that deck because I've just, this is what it is. It's stuck. It's unclarified. It's kind of there's someone here that's wanting clarity, and there's someone here, sorry, I didn't realise you could see my shadow there. I'm just putting my hair up, but yeah, this is what it looks like to be a rather more casual physical connection, where in the heat of the moment and the passion, it's all lovely and completely emotionally fulfilling, delightful, and there's some sort of want here for it to turn a bit more, you know, stable, committed. Are we, you know, what are we doing here? Are we just going to keep having this little casual thing, or are we going to move it on and maybe be actually together, boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend, or boyfriend and boyfriend, however it goes for you? But someone here is kind of holding on to the fiery part of it, but they're not necessarily giving you, or you're not giving them, any sort of inclination towards any sort of stability here. So yeah, I'm just going to put these into their sweets for a minute, just because I just want to look at one little final thing, but it might not even be anything, but just give me a moment. Okay, Virgo, so yeah, as I thought, I'm getting here that someone, it's a casual kind of more physical connection, relationship with some sort of crumb of recognition. And it's quite up and down, on and off, can be a little bit impulsive and all those sort of things. But someone here is kind of waiting on this possibility that it could turn into something stable, and they're kind of waiting around, and someone here is stuck in the maybes, we'll see, possibly, you never know. But they're kind of, when they try and delve further into that possibility, they're kind of being shut off, kind of without closure, and they're kind of almost like, I'm getting definitely a dependent energy here, kind of waiting for validation, closure, some sort of outcome. And it's making someone feel very unhappy, but they're kind of still holding on to, I want to say, a false sense of hope. Not saying that things, you know, won't come good and this won't become stable, but at the minute, this is the energy that I'm reading. So yeah, depends how long you want to wait for. Depends how long you've been waiting, or, you know, you can wait and wait, but the wheel will keep turning forwards. It depends if you want to go forwards with the wheel, or whether you want to stay stuck like the hamster on the wheel. So that, Virgo, is entirely up to you. That's what I have for you. Take care. Best wishes. Till next time. Bye bye.